down here in Australia. My first time to Australia, and not only that, but I'm actually having an opportunity to build. Check this out, we're at Wildlife HQ, and I am looking forward to this. You know, I had a great presentation yesterday. Today we are actually doing an installation. This is the type of stuff that I live for. It's another continent, another country that I'm gonna be working in. Different habitats, different locations, different types of rocks, all those different things coming together. It's really, really cool stuff. We're doing a little research for the Wildlife HQ. The goal for this project is to recreate a rainforest river system. Small series of cascading pools that are fed by this beautiful rainforest area. So what we want to do is we're getting ideas from over here in nature, and it is phenomenal. Check this out. I wish we had the time and the money to pull something like this off, but what we're going to do is we're going to focus in on that. So we're going to create a series of large boulders and little plunge pools, and they're just going to work their way down a series of steps going down to the lower area where the pumps are going to be located. So the idea is to utilize some of the strategies and the ideas that we're finding right here in nature for the upcoming project. We'll be tucking in some series of aquatic plants. We're going to use stumps, logs, different types of vegetation to really create that desired effect. Shallow pockets of water, a little bit of sand, river rock, mixture of different types of boulders. This will allow the animals to come in, climb in and around these particular areas. Whenever you create a habitat that mimics the animal's natural environment, that's when they're going to feel the most comfortable, and that's when you're going to get the best health from that animal.
This is Ed, the pond professor.
Hi, you're the pond professor.
Yeah, you got it.
So are you the founder of this place, Julie? How many years now?
It'll be 6 in July.
And it was all because the place that you worked at was closing down, right? And a lot of the animals were going to be not taken care of.
Decided I couldn't do that. I'd bred half of them, so I had to do something.
Very impressive. We're happy that you applied for the donation because you're doing a lot of good work out here.
It wasn't just me. Got a great team behind me.
That's
Very
awesome.
Privileged to have the animals and blessed to have the people.
How big of a property do you have? It's gorgeous. I mean, look, it's like a jungle.
Oh, the rainforest all through there. So there's approximately 15 acres.
Well, let's go see the property that we're putting a site on.
I love this. This is an incredible rainforest on the Sunshine Coast of Australia. What better place to be?
So we love doing stuff like this. Patrick already came out here and did some of the prep work. We got all of our certified aquascape contractors in Australia who are volunteering and donating their time. And we're going to build a beautiful new aquascape ecosystem water feature for some pretty cool animals.
Yeah, look at these guys, little wallabies.
Hanging out.
All right, so here's our location for our pond, 11 by 16 pond. We got a small stream coming in over here, and then we have a negative edge. Reason we have that is to create a small waterfall over at the end. That's going to allow for debris capture, but it's also because it's in an animal enclosure. We want to make sure that we don't have the animals. I mean, we're working with gibbons here. So that's a very smart, intelligent animal. It is an arboreal species, so that means it's going to live up in the higher elevations. It lives up in the trees, spends most of its time up high. It will come down towards the water, but we want to make sure that they can't get to the pump system, which is why we chose to go with that method. I want to show you some of the stone that we have over here, but we have a small walk-behind machine that will allow us to shuffle the stone over towards the job site. I'm always looking at logistics. I'm trying to figure out how we can get the materials from point A to point B as quickly as possible. I'm a geology guy as well, So I love learning about the science behind all this stuff. What type of materials we're going to be using to pull this project off. Let's go take a look. All right, check out the stone that we have to work with. Looks like a really nice, almost like a field stone type of a look. So it looks like granitic. Got some nice shapes to it, a little bit jagged. We got some nice flat pieces. We got some rounds in there as well. So it's a pretty good mixture. That's going to create a really nice effect for us. The idea, we have some pretty good sized rocks. Sure, even though these animals are not that big, we want to make sure that everything's good and stable. So we have some of the mulch material to cover up the spoils once we're done excavating. And then we have all the different types of the river rock. So these are all local river pebbles, and this is going to be responsible for biological filtration as well as protecting the liner. So what I want to talk to you today about, not necessarily step-by-step construction. I want to talk to you a little bit about how we're designing this specifically for these animals. From an enrichment standpoint, is we want to try to recreate the actual habitat from where these animals are found. They are found all throughout Southeast Asia, all the way down into Indonesia. They live in rainforests. An abundance of water obviously coursing through those forests. A lot of little creekways, kind of woodland pools, little cascades and things like that into a larger pool of water. We want to make that look like it all blends in with the overall enclosure that they have here. So when we're talking about doing something at a facility like this, we're not only thinking of the animals, but we're also thinking about the viewers, about the people that are coming to the facility as well. So we want to create a nice experience for them. We're looking at some of the equipment that we're going to be using for setting the stone. So we have some of the nylon lifting straps. We have some chains to connect everything up to the back of the machine. And then we're going to come in here. We'll start shuffling the stones with the small walk behind machine, bring them over to the staging area, and then we can set the larger one with that piece of equipment. So step by step. Thankfully we have a good team out here, so everything should go pretty smoothly here today.
The pouring rain didn't slow down this tribe of volunteers. They've come from all over North America and Australia to build an aquascape ecosystem pond here at Wildlife HQ.
We picked this project from a worldwide contest for someone that was going to win an aquascape ecosystem pond.
The American company chose Wildlife HQ following the devastating fires in Australia, recognising the zoo's contribution to animal conservation.
Making great progress on our project here. We have a lot of help, so things are moving real fast. We have teams of people moving rock, teams moving gravel, teams moving soil, guys looking for logs for us. We have one big machine that's setting all the rocks, so it's really making things go quickly as long as we can keep feeding him. As you can see here, we've moved all of our big boulders. We actually have a few more tons coming in. We're trying to naturalize all this stuff. So what we don't want to have happen is we don't want all of this rock and gravel inside of the stream and then nowhere else. So we want to start strategically putting in some rock work over in the back just to kind of blend it all together. So anytime I'm doing an ecosystem pond, aquatic plants are critical. We have a good mixture. We got Pontidaria, we got Pennywort, we got some Liliopsis. That's going to help blend everything together as well as be a location for nitrate. So we want to have that nitrogen cycle completed with those aquatic plants. Things are coming together pretty well here. Here's our biofall set up. This is going to help to give us the desired water quality. Upflow biological filter. We have our water coming in on one side. The other side could be capped off or it could be a drainage system. The water is going to come in, swirl around on the bottom. It's going to flow up through the media. That filter media is right over here. That's going to help to detoxify the water. Dropping in these big boulders here in the stream. And what we're trying to do is to get the water moving around everything. We have a pretty straight little fall system, but what we're trying to do by putting in these big boulders, creating these peninsula type effects, so that'll give that water a little bit more flow and movement. We have some logs going in the back. That's going to help soften things up as well as add another texture into the pond. We have some big shallow beach areas over here. That's going to be a perfect spot for the gibbons to come down from the trees. They'll be able to wade over into that shallow water if they desire. We are going to come in afterwards and this will all be landscaped as well. Remember, these animals spend the majority of the time up in the trees, but they do come down to the ground periodically, obviously for water, for looking for food, etc. We're in the final stages of wrapping everything up. It actually rained on us quite a bit, but we got everything completed. And what I love about it is the teamwork, obviously, that came into this to make it all happen, but also that we kind of stayed true to the mission. We're trying to create a really cool habitat that's going to replicate a jungle. Like eventually there will be more trees and things in there, but right now we did put in a lot of plant material. This is supposed to look like just a series of cascading little jungle pools. Really came out cool. Let's go check it out. Everybody is waiting. We are doing the final mulching. We wanted to have lots of logs and stuff in here because that's going to replicate the natural habitat. It's also going to allow them an opportunity to climb along all this stuff and interact with the water itself. Very simple little waterfall is going to kind of cascade its way through here. We're just rinsing everything down, but I love the fact that we can't really see that upper waterfall. Put in some new sod over here as we destroyed everything. Really looks good.
Old lady very, very happy.
So what did you expect?
Nothing like this. I expected just a small pond, you know, with some nice rocks around it, but nothing like that. That is just, and the time they've done it in.
This is our profession, so thank you for allowing us to do this. You're happy with it?
Oh, absolutely love it. I just can't wait for the Gibbons to get in there and play.
So I only have one question for you. What project are we going to do next year?
Spider monkeys.
All right, you heard it.
So this has been another incredible build. Wildlife HQ, definitely worth the trip. I love it out here. You know, just a bunch of passionate people doing what they love, taking care of animals, making a difference in people's lives, and you're learning all about the native wildlife, which is just incredible. So I hope this video was fun. Well, unfortunately, those gibbons aren't going to be here for a little bit longer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one.